The year is 1928, and many people on the streets, at home, at work, wherever, are seriously ill. You see, the streets are lacking one major item for survival, meaning that cuts, surgeries, even common diseases could be completely fatal. In comes one man. Alexander Fleming, born August 6th, 1881 in Scotland, was a bacteriologist and the youngest of 8 children. Fleming was often a gentleman, quiet, patient and relaxed. He wasn't the most talkative type, naturally causing him to avoid social calls. He was so silent, in fact, that even his closest friends were unable to see through his facade to get a glimpse of his feelings. He didn't have the best social skills, as we've already mentioned, but it was bad. Around people he didn't know very well, his tone came off as rather rude and unfriendly, but whenever he was around his loved ones, he was like a whole new guy. He was confident, charming and gentle. In 1915 he got married to an Irish nurse named Sarah Marion McElroy, often called Sareen by the public. 9 years after their marriage, they gained a new member to their family, Robert Fleming, their first son, who later became a general practitioner. After 34 years of marriage, Sareen unfortunately passed away, largely affecting Fleming in a negative light. He shut out everyone and stayed in his laboratory, becoming engrossed with his work, which we are going to talk about today. Okay, before that, just a little more background. When Fleming turned 20, he received an inheritance from his uncle, which he used to attend medical school at St. Mary's Hospital. When World War I happened, Alexander Fleming served in the Army Medical Corps as captain. In an article he wrote during this time, Fleming described that anaerobic bacteria was present in deep wounds. His work wasn't accepted at first, but he decided to continue looking, and that paid off, because in 1922 he discovered a little thing called lysozyme, an enzyme with weak antibacterial properties. When Fleming had a cold, he allegedly put some of his mucus into a petri dish. After leaving it forgotten on his desk for 2 weeks, roughly, there were colossal amounts of bacteria, of course, but the area that he had placed his mucus in was completely clear. He soon discovered that a substance in mucus resisted bacteria, so he called it lysozyme. He also found other things that contained lysozyme, such as tears, saliva, fingernails, and hair. On September 3rd, 1928, Fleming ran through petri dishes of Staphylococcus. Staphylococcus is just a bacteria that can cause boils and sore throats. One dish contained little splotches of colonies apart from one area, which contained a big blob of mould. The area around the mould was completely clear though. Fleming soon found out that this so-called mould juice was able to kill a whole lot of harmful bacteria. Soon he got his 2 assistants named Stuart Craddock and Frederick Ridley on the frustrating job of isolating the penicillin from the mould juice. Fleming published his discovery in British Journal of Experimental Pathology in June of 1929. The piece of writing, however, did not include many mentions of penicillin's work in healthcare. We continue to use Fleming's most iconic work today to treat many illnesses. Fleming unfortunately passed away on March 11th, 1955 from a heart attack. When his wife, Fleming had remarried in 1953 to a woman called Amalia, called the family physician, Fleming had suggested that no home visit was necessary. Only a few minutes after those words were spoken did Fleming suffer from a heart attack and die. His cremated ashes were soon placed in St. Paul's Cathedral. May he rest in peace.